Get your shakers out because it's time to sip and sing. Cheers!
It's great that, the technical team here at Sip and Sing headquarters is so into these opening numbers now. That is that is the Act 1 marquee number from Tina, the Tina Turner musical, now on Broadway, which I had the privilege of seeing this week. Wow. Okay, that's plenty of that. Now, technical When I cry. It's great. Listen, it's time to sip with Tina. She may not be here in person, but she sure is here in spirit. Tina Turner. Today's episode is devoted to Tina Turner and the Tina Turner musical on Broadway. Broadway is back. I know that we talk about it, but finally this week, it was experienced by the Sip and Sing team. We did see an actual Broadway musical, so I can't wait to tell you about it. Welcome. It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock. Welcome to Sip and Sing. We can't wait to get started today. We have a fantastic, kind of mind-blowing show for you today. So welcome. If you're catching us on the Zoom through the Bay Street Theater, please know that we are so thrilled that you're with us and that you've been with us from the beginning. If you're joining us from the live stream on iHeartRadioBroadway.com, also fantastic. And of course, we can't do it without our main sponsor, AARP Long Island. And I've been thinking about this. There's that famous song from a well-known Broadway musical, 525,600 minutes. Well, it just happens that that's about the same number of members of AARP Long Island that there happen to be. That's how many there are. And I just want our friend Bernard and all of AARP Long Island to know that now I think of you every time I hear Seasons of Love from Rent. They are our official sponsor, and so I always want to tell you just a little bit. If you're curious about what AARP does, they focus on the 50 and over population and on their health, security, financial stability, and personal fulfillment. If you want more information, please go to aarp.org/near-you. You don't even have to put in your information. All of the local happenings will pop up on your computer. You are welcome. So, like I said, we did see a show, and it was the Tina Turner musical, and it was so fantastic that I feel like I'm going to want to talk about it just the whole time, because it was that great. But we do have a special guest that's going to come, and we're going to, in just a minute, and we're going to talk all about it. So let me hold off just a minute before I gush. Let's get started with some good old-fashioned sing-along tunes that I know you will know, and this is maybe the one to break the bank. This is Cabaret from Cabaret. I know you know it, so sing it with me. It's one of my favorites. This was a direct request from the technical director himself. What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow a horn. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. What good's permitting some prophet of doom to wipe every smile away? Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. I used to have a girlfriend known as Elsie. It's true. With whom I shared 4 sordid rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. The day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. Well, that's what comes from too much pills and liquor. But when I saw her laid out like a queen, she was the happiest corpse I'd ever seen. I think of Elsie to this very day. I remember how she'd turn to me and say, what good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. And as for me, I made my mind up back in Chelsea. When I go, I'm going like Elsie. Start by admitting from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum. It's only a cabaret, old chum, and I love a cabaret. So I've been talking about this already, but it's time to welcome a very special guest here to Sip and Sing Studios. From the cast of Tina, the Broadway musical. You've never seen a show like this. Never. It is volcanic. The response from I know we've been pent up, but the response from the audience is like nothing I've ever seen. And we've got one of the stars of Tina the Musical. Please give a warm sip and sing welcome to Dr. Dawnn Lewis. Warm reception from our in-studio audience here today. I love it. Dawnn Lewis, I'm so thrilled to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. And thank you for showing so much love to the show. We're having a great time, and even better that the audience is really enjoying it the way that they do. Sometimes they sing louder than we do, actually.
No, is that true? So as I sat there, I thought, we saw the show this week. As I sat there, I thought, this can't happen every night. They can't be ripping the roof off of the Luntfontein Theater like this every night. The audience went crazy. So you're telling me that's what happens every night?
Every night. And not only for the audience, but for the cast as well. Believe it or not. If you notice, well, you probably didn't notice, but during the finale, the entire cast is in the wings doing the Proud Mary choreography and doing the Nutbush choreography. We're in the wings throwing down. Yeah, we've had to be asked a few times by stage management, please do not dance right at the scene.
No, I did not. I'm always looking for what the ensemble is doing. I did not.
Oh, yeah. This person. We're backstage jamming. We're exhausted by the time we come out and take our bow. We're
We felt exhausted. We were in a full sweat in the audience. People were moaning and screaming.
I love it.
It's really unbelievable. So I'm glad to know that that's every night.
Every night, every show. So after the show, there's another, no spoilers, but there's another 15-minute concert when the show is over. So if you're one of those people that wants to rush out and try to beat the crowd out, you're going to miss it. It's like going to a Marvel movie. You know how they have those great credits with all the little.
Yes. No, and this is beyond. And you know, it's funny you to talk about spoilers. Like during COVID, we had seen that fabulous Tina Turner documentary, and we've seen some of the appearances that you and the cast have made on various television shows, you know, promoting. Mm-hmm. But in no way could the feeling of being there in person and watching all of you do this show, in no way could this spoil that, because the thing that's happening in person, you cannot describe and you can't even show on television. You can't. I mean, there's such an energy exchange between the audience who know and love this story, know and love these songs, and then what you all are doing. I mean, you can't spoil it. There's no way to spoil what's going on in there.
Thank you very much. Lots of surprises. You know, some people think they know the story because they saw the movie. what's love got to do with it? But there's
Right.
so much more information given in the show, some backstory that isn't covered in the movie, and then the live experience, the live exchange. It can't be duplicated, like you said. So thank you for that.
No, I felt it, and building on that is your role in the show, which I think is not something that people will be familiar with, having watched the movie so much or having seen these other things. So tell us a little bit, because what I love is that it's very simply, when they bill you in the show, it's just the first name of your character. So we don't even know, if you don't know the players in Tina Turner's life, you're not even sure how important your character is to the story. So tell us a little bit about that.
I play Zelma Bullock, Tina Turner's mother. And Tina's original name, before it got changed to Tina Turner, was Anna Mae Bullock. A very simple girl from back in a small town, southern country, southern state. And Zelma is a woman who, by today's standards, people might villainize. A woman who abandoned at least one of her children, she had two at the time, in order to save herself. But in spite of that abandonment, which was a foundation of Tina Turner's journey of feeling that abuse, and the reason the mom left was because she was in an abusive relationship with Tina's father. She had one daughter and felt like, okay, I can deal with this one daughter and this man. But when she wanted to leave, the husband got her pregnant again and insisted that she keep the baby, which was Tina. So there's this love, tug, pull of resentment of all of these things, of being, in Zelma's opinion, trapped in this place where she knew it was just a matter of time before she was going to die, where she had to save her own life. In doing so, it created this really complicated relationship between she and Tina up until the very end of their relationship. I totally relate to that relationship because I too was raised in a family with domestic violence, and my mom had to leave myself and my three brothers in order to save herself.
Wow.
Unlike Zelma, though, Zelma encourages Tina to go back to that domestic violence, even though she knows what it was, because that's what she knows as a woman. My mother refused to go back. So I got to live and survive and thrive, same as Tina, through all of that, through regardless of what my history was. So my goal in presenting Zelma is to present her as a whole human being who had to make a difficult choice during a very difficult time. Women didn't walk out on their families back in those days.
And not there in that particular region either. Yeah.
Exactly. You stayed through the abuse. You stayed, or even though you knew they were cheating, there were multiple kids around town. That's just what you did. But she was one of those people in that generation, like my mom, who said, you know what, enough, and loved herself enough to save herself, but unfortunately couldn't save the relationship between all of her children. So that sets a real platform for Tina, and then her relationship with Ike, and then how she managed to break out of that like her mother ultimately did.
And it really sounds like you were the perfect person to bring this role to life, because you have such a deep understanding of the issues at hand. And there really is, it's so concisely written. It's a really brilliant book of a biomusical, in that you don't have scenes and scenes and scenes to get this story across. There is a major scene where this dynamic plays out in the first act, and then another major scene in the second act where you have to fill in all this backstory with those limits, and you do a marvelous job of doing that. We feel all those contours of the character that you just described within the contours of those scenes. So I want to talk about that second act scene, because it brings you together, your character, with Tina and Ike in the same space, and you're negotiating in a way between the two of them. What was it like to build that scene?
Well, it was complicated because Zelma is unapologetic, but at the same time, she wants absolution. She wants healing, but she also wants to find a way in. And in Tina's absence, as her career has flourished, Ike establishes a relationship with her mother. So now she's got to deal with, okay, I can't believe you are insisting that I bring this man back into my life. What is happening here? So Ike believes that if he can get an entree from Zelma, Zelma believes that she can patch things up with Ike and Tina, that somehow they're all going to come back together and ride the rest of this, meteoric journey together, which all it does is just continue to break Tina's spirit. You know how much you want to love someone that you just don't like. She loves her mother, but has grown just to not like her. And you just see that right through to the very end. Everybody trying to find their place in their space and how they fit, only to learn that I don't know that it's ever really gonna fit.
Wow. And like I said, you feel all of that happening and you see it happen. I think people don't know the contours of that relationship. That's what I mean. If you've seen the film, even if you've seen the documentary, that contour, him and her and you together, that was a revelation for me. It really was the new layer to Tina Turner as a person that I didn't quite understand before I saw your performance.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And that does explain why when we come out of at the end for that concert moment, that after the curtain call moment, that it's catharsis for the characters, it's catharsis for the actors evidently, and it's catharsis for the audience. We're ready to celebrate because we've seen Tina come through all of this. And the joy, the unbridled joy. I mean, we ran into some folks at the theater who have been seeing theater since the 60s. I mean, they've seen everything in town, and they were literally speechless. They said, we've never seen a finale. We've never seen a show like this before. So
it's a lot of fun. I love the people who come dressed as Tina.
Yes.
What?
Oh God, wait, we saw sequins. We saw things happening. I didn't see a wig or anything, but we saw sequins. We saw things. So that's a thing?
That's a thing. That's a thing. From the front row of the orchestra to the back of the mezzanine. That's a thing. That's a thing. Before we shut down in the pandemic, we had people who had already seen the show 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
They just kept coming back. Yeah. It's been phenomenal. It really
have you been, and what's been your journey with the show? Have you been involved during early workshops? Have you been with this role a long time? I don't
pretty much the entire cast except for Adrian and Nkeki, the young lady who does the matinees. We came in just for the Broadway company.
Wow.
So Adrian's been with it from the beginning. So we're super proud of her winning that Tony Award. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. That young lady has put in a lot of hard work, and Nkeki coming up and filling her big shoes. She does a wonderful job. So whichever Tina you get to see, just know you're going to get a good show. And the rest of us came in for the Broadway company. So we did some fine tuning to the previous productions because it was in London and Germany before. So once they brought it to the States, they got a really organic and authentic sense of African Americans here in this country and what we were able to infuse into the show. So the show changed a little bit. That's
interesting. That's an interesting dynamic. I would never have thought of that. When you start overseas, you're portraying a different culture, a different nationality altogether. That's interesting.
Exactly. So we got the opportunity to do that here in the States. So the entire cast is pretty much new.
I love that.
I'm here, and I later found out that Adrian actually requested me to play her mom because I got to work. No, I got to work with Adrian and Daniel, who plays Ike, in the reprise production of The Wiz a few years ago, and I played Ada Pearl. So I worked with Adrian and Daniel then. So when Adrian got the opportunity to do this show, she said, when we come to the States, please ask Dawnn Lewis if she's interested in playing.
What a huge compliment.
I didn't find that out until after the fact.
Oh, what a wonderful
thing. So yeah. And
that's the universe too, bringing the right people together to tell this story clearly.
I agree. So all that, it just reminds me of how important it is to be a decent human being, because you never know who rises, who falls. It comes full circle. You know what I mean? So
and then bringing the show, you talked about, starting it up and being the first American company of this show, but you had to kind of reopen recently, right?
We did.
What was that process like? It's been shut down for over a year and a half. One of our dressers wrote on the board, 572 days ago was our last performance.
Oh my God.
So yeah. Wow. So to be honest with you, even after doing this show for so many months, night after night, 8 shows a week, we came back to rehearsal and went, whose line is it? I think it's
I got to do what with my body now?
What did I do? Yeah. Said, what? Huh? Where do I stand? I think it's line. Somebody please tell me what I'm supposed to say. Yeah. One night during rehearsals, I started singing my song, and I was like, I got through the first sentence. I turn up. And Adrian and Ari had to start singing, you better treat my dog. Yeah, that. Okay.
Listen, this is the process. This is the people love, by the way, everyone loves hearing stories like this. Is what everyone wants to hear. But the show, I mean, it shines like a jewel. And maybe that's part of the process too of reopening. It shines like it's been just brought out of the jewelry box. It is so sparkly and beautiful. I can't say enough good things about it. Here we are on Sip and Sing. So I've been doing some sipping in the background, but
okay.
I know you've brought something that you'd like to sing. Oh, and a sip. There we go. Sip break. We always need our sip break. So tell us what you'd like to sing and why, because it's not something from the show, it's something different.
It's something very different. I would love to sing this song, I Want to Be Happy.
Oh.
I Want to Be Happy from the show No No Nanette. And the reason I picked that song is because I did No No Nanette in college at the University of Miami. And at the time, I started college when I was 16. So I did this at the end of my freshman year. I was just 17 years old and had come down from New York City, born and raised in Brooklyn. And we had a professor at the U of M. His name is John Soliday. I love him to this day. He was very courageous. If you know anything about the history of the U, it was very specific. It was diverse in its enrollment, but very specific in its outreach. If you know, with the Black Lives Matter didn't exist, so it was very monotone in its presentation of who the school was geared towards. So we were doing shows like Carousel, Camelot, you know, all those kinds of things. So when they decided to do No No Nanette, I was identified as this up and coming, this young lady is incredibly talented and deserves a shot. So John Soliday cast me as Nanette. So it turns out I was the first person of color ever cast in a traditionally white role at the University of Miami.
Wow.
And it made the cover of the Miami Herald as once you get past the fact that Dawnn Lewis is Black, you realize she's really quite talented.
Wow.
That was the headline under that picture.
What a world. I mean, oh, wow.
Yeah. So since then, the U has grown. The projects have become diverse. By the time I graduated 4 years later, we were doing The Wiz. We were doing shows like, you know, Workin', you know, all those Equus. We were doing all those kinds of shows. So it just shows I didn't go there to be an agent of change. I just went there to be my best self. And in that environment, not only did I grow, but the university grew and the program grew. I was the founder and first graduate of their musical theater degree program.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's now graduated amazing U of M alums like Joshua Henry. He's a musical theater degree program alum from the U of M, and he was in that production of The Wiz as well. He was our Tin Man.
That's right.
So I'm very proud of that. So this song takes me back to that time to remind me that there's nothing I can't do, especially when you try to do it through earnest and joy and seeking excellence. And that's what this song reminds me of.
What a tremendous, I mean, it's, you know, from a show that people think of as frothy, right, and light, this song is like a journey. So I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to hear this.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna give this a whirl. We'll see what's
I've got my sip as well. So
okay. We're gonna put a little spin on it because this is how I couldn't sing it in the show.
Great.
All right. We wouldn't be allowed to do that in No No Nanette. Okay, here we go. I'm a very ordinary girl, trying to live out life's simple plan, doing unto others as I'd like to have them doing unto me. When I find a very lonely soul, to be kind becomes my only goal. I feel so much better when I tell them my philosophy. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. 'Cause life's really worth living when you are worth giving. I want to give some to you. 'Cause when skies are gray and just say you are blue, I'll send the sun smiling through. 'Cause I wanna be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. Sweep on your loop, bum dee down, sit down dee, shut up and day, shut up and dee da, but we da ba, sing the we so I wanna be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. 'Cause life's really worth living when we are mirth giving. Please let me give some to you. 'Cause when skies are gray and you say you are blue, I'm gonna send the sun smiling through to you. I wanna be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. I wanna make you happy too, so don't be blue. I'm gonna make you happy too. Oh, don't be blue. I'm gonna make you happy too.
Oh my gosh. Is it a backer's audition for bringing back known guest starring Dr. Dawnn Lewis? I don't know what would be. What a thank you so, you have made us all so happy.
Thank you. Yay! Goal reached, goal reached.
Listen, you contain multitudes, and that's why you're playing this role in Tina the Musical, because you contain multitudes, and all of that comes out on stage. We are so thrilled to be a witness to it, and to tell the world to get to see Tina on Broadway.
Yes.
And to see you in this role. We can't thank you enough for spending this time with us today. Dr. Dawnn Lewis.
Hey,
really.
thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Sip and Sing, everybody.
Right. We are.
Let's all be happy.
Let's all be happy. Thank you. We'll come see you again, and we're going to tell everyone they got to catch you in the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. I'm going to late to the theater now. Bye.
She delivers on all. Thank you so much, Dr. Dawnn Lewis. I mean, I didn't want to bring this up during that wonderful segment, but I have been a fan of Dawnn Lewis ever since her starring role in A Different World, the sequel to The Cosby Show. Does anyone remember this show? It was like a touchstone for me back in the day. She is so tremendous. I love someone who has longevity like that and just has the talent to back it up. What an incredible guest. I'm so thrilled. Thank you all for being there for all of that. That being in that theater, the Lunt-Fontanne, to see Tina got me thinking of the last time I was in that theater, and it was to see Motown. Motown the musical. The other M musical, the other one-word M musical, not Memphis, Motown. And so here's a song from Motown the musical. I just thought this would be fun to do this week. This is Dancing in the Street. This is what we all want to be doing. But sing it with me now. Calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? Oh, the summer's here and the time is right for dancing in the street. They're dancing in Chicago, down in New Orleans, up in New York City. All we need is music, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. There'll be swinging, swaying, and records playing, dancing in the street. Oh, it doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. So come on, every guy, grab a girl. Everywhere around the world they'll be dancing. They're dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
It's just an invitation across the nation, a chance for folks to meet. There'll be laughing, singing, and music swinging, dancing in the street. Philadelphia, PA. Yes, Baltimore and DC now. You can't forget the Motor City. All we need is music, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. There'll be swinging, swaying, and records playing, dancing in the street. Oh, it doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. So come on, every guy, grab a girl, everywhere around the world, dancing. They're dancing in the street. Thank you, Albert. Way down in LA, every day we're dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Across the ocean blue, me and you, we're dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
There we go. We do love to give our technical director a shot at the microphone. So that's another benefit to singing that song from Motown Musical. I have to tell you, it's been Jukebox Musical Week, I mean, around here in the Sip and Sing headquarters, because we've been thinking about all these great shows that bring you back to this artistic journey of these famous, fantastic artists. And Tina, the musical, just does it better than most. Better than all, I want to say. It's just... when we say volcanic, that's what happens.
Oh my God.
Something happens at the end of the show, and it literally is like a volcano is going off. We were covered in...
My heart rate was up for like 15 minutes after the show.
We were in a full sweat. It was like we had done the show ourselves. You may have tuned in last week and you saw that dear Mother Sip and Sing was there. Jan Barisich, who I see is on with us today.
And Maria.
And with our good friend Maria. Hello. And she was there with us. We were all... It was like we went to a happening. We went to something that like we couldn't even describe to other people what we've been through. So I've just been thinking about all those other great jukebox musicals and all that familiar music. And so I came up with this, which we've done before. I wanted to sing it with you one more time. This is If I Could Turn Back Time from The Cher Show. And I know you know it, so sing it with me. Here it is. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know why I did those things I did. I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you'd love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, my world was shattered, I was torn apart. Like someone took a knife and drove it deep in my heart. When you walked out that door, I swore that I didn't care. But I lost everything, darling, there. Too strong to tell you I was sorry. Too proud to tell you I was wrong. I know that I was blind, and darling, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you'd love me like you used to do. Oh, a little share for you there. If I could turn back time, if I could turn back time, if I could turn back time, oh baby. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you. If I could reach the stars, could key change, I'd give them all to you. Then you'd love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, then maybe you'd stay. You know, that song is from an era where we had a fade out, and then when you do it live, you can't have a fade out, so we just have an ending. Okay, really, this has been so much fun, and I wish we could continue even longer. We're coming to the end of the show. That is kind of it. I know. What a great, listen, I would have Dawnn Lewis back every day.
My gosh.
I would see Tina the musical every week. I can't urge you enough to go see this show. If you can, if you're anywhere in New York, go see it. Adrienne Warren, who's playing the role of Tina Turner, is in the show, I think only till the end of the month, but I have it on excellent authority that the other woman that shares the role with her is just as volcanic and amazing as she is. So really, go see it now, or go see it later this fall or on the holidays. It's going to be a tremendous show, I can promise you that. So thank you for joining us today. We've had such a great time. Thank you, of course, to our broadcast partner, iHeart Radio Broadway, to our Bay Street family, and of course, we can't do without our sponsor, AARP Long Island. So you know we weren't going to get out today without doing a song from Tina, the Tina Turner musical.
Meaning that you were forced into it?
I was forced into it by our delightful technical director. And I acquiesce because it's going to be the end of the show, and we've all had enough to drink that we're going to put up with me trying to do.
You said no first.
I said no a lot of times. I still might say no. There's still time for me to get out of this. But I figured we all know it, and we've all had enough sips to help us all through me doing a Tina Turner song for our finale this week. Let's do it together. This is River Deep, Mountain High. It's a huge moment in the show, and it's a song that I can't wait to sing with you. Let's do it. When I was a little girl, I had a rag doll, only a doll I've ever owned. True story, actually. No, I love you just the way that I love that rag doll, but only now my love has grown. But it gets stronger in every way, and it gets higher day by day. I love you, my oh my, yeah, river deep, mountain high. If I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, 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 baby. When you were a young boy, did you have a puppy that always followed you around? So he's over here. Well, I'm gonna be as faithful as that puppy. No, I'll never let you down. 'Cause it goes stronger like a river flows, and it gets bigger, baby, and heaven knows it gets sweeter, baby. Do I cry? River deep, mountain high, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, 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 baby. I love you, baby, like a flower loves the spring. And I love you, baby, just like Tina loves to sing. Oh, I love you, baby, like a schoolboy loves his pet. I love you, baby, river deep, mountain high. Oh, yeah. high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Some good old Tina Turner. It's a great number. Listen, put that soundtrack on if you want to hear how that song should really be done, because it probably shouldn't be by me. But thank you for joining us. We have such a great time. And I have to tell you, there's another special guest joining us on Friday from the new West Side Story film, directed by Steven Spielberg. We have one of the stars of the film. So come back on Friday. Join us. We'll have another good time. We will see you. This is Dial Kyle signing out. And there's some more Tina for you.